Hello, thank you for joining us. My name is Larry Morgan. I'm the CEO of RL Liquidators. And this video is intended to provide a brief overview of the services that we offer as a liquidation company. We want to share the things that set us apart. The principles presented in this video are presented in fairly broad strokes. We don't go into a lot of specifics. If there's any topic that we discuss that you would like to know more about, we'd be happy to share that information with you and encourage you to reach out and schedule an appointment for us to meet and talk about your needs and how we can help to meet them. Let's start with just defining what RL Liquidators does in broad strokes. RL Liquidators moves high volumes, and when I say high volumes, we'll define that a little bit better shortly, of reverse logistics inventory directly to the consumer through retail sales channels that we own and control. And again, we'll go over those retail channels shortly as well, producing not only very high recovery rates for our clients, but simultaneously protecting our clients' brand and their primary market. That is RL Liquidators' focus. So let's define high volumes. What do we mean when we say high volumes? Currently, we process over 12,000 truckloads of product annually. We have 4 distribution centers nationally, averaging about 76,000 square feet per center, with more planned to open in the upcoming years. We own and or control 40 retail locations of our 3 retail brands, and we'll go over those 3 retail brands here shortly. In 2021, total revenue from all of our retail channels combined to produce over $60 million in sales, with that sales projection expected to exceed $100 million in 2022. The company has grown rather aggressively since its founding in 2011, and for a minimum of the next 5 years, is forecasted to continue in that aggressive growth. Let's talk briefly about our logistics capabilities. Our primary focus is to be highly responsive to our clients' needs. We want to get freight out of their facilities as quickly as we can. We never want our clients to suffer from gridlock or from bottlenecks because we were slow to respond to their needs in removing freight. To that end, we own our own trucking company in RL Shipping and Transport. It has dedicated lanes here in the United States that it services. For needs that are outside the lanes that RL Shipping and Transport services, we have in-house dedicated logistics teams that provide our clients with, again, very highly responsive coast-to-coast logistics services. It is our goal to get inventory from your facility to one of our distribution centers quickly. And when I say quickly, I mean often within 24 business hours. One of the important things to note here is that you never have to wait for us to find a buyer before trucks leave your facilities. Let's talk about our sales channels. One of them is a sales channel called bidrl.com. This is a direct-to-consumer, online competitive bid platform. It's an online auction marketplace. It's designed to get the highest possible prices for high-end inventory. Through bidrl.com, items are sold direct to the consumer, one item at a time. Everything is sold individually. And important about this particular sales channel is that we do not ship. All winnings must be picked up in person from the location the items were purchased from by the person who purchased them. So even though it's an online auction marketplace, it is not a national marketplace. It's a local marketplace. That is intentional, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. We currently have 27 bidrl.com locations, and we're projected to grow to 120 locations nationally within the next 5 years. Bidrl.com does great for high-value items from portable electronics to portable generators. It does not serve well for low-value items. That's what Falling Prices was developed for. Falling Prices is a brick-and-mortar direct-to-consumer bin store. We opened this about 3 years ago, and this is one of the stores that fueled the national bin store craze that's been going on since then. Falling Prices is designed to quickly liquidate large quantities of low-value items, and I'll tell you what that means here shortly. Items are sold direct to the consumer, one item at a time, but through a very unique format. Everything in the store when we open on a Tuesday is the exact same price. All items are $6 when we open up on Tuesday morning. On Wednesday, whatever is left is $4. Thursday, whatever is left is $2. Friday, we go to $1. And Saturday, whatever remains is 25 cents. So by the end of the day, Saturday, every item in that store has sold. Each store has a 100% inventory turn rate weekly, with each store selling between 40,000 to 50,000 items each week. We currently have 12 Falling Prices locations, and the projections call for 40 locations nationally within the next 5 years. We've compiled a brief 30-second video to give you an overview of what our Falling Prices stores look like. These lines that you see here are outside of our stores every day that we're open. It's like Black Friday every day. The stores are filled with bins and with shelving that people then just look through to see what deals they can find, and they're highly popular. Everybody wants to come in to see what they can find each week in our Falling Prices stores. Now, BidRL.com is great for high-value items. Falling Prices is great for low-value items. You'd think that was everything that we needed to be able to liquidate any type of retail reverse logistics inventory, but it's not quite true. We found that there was a third retail brand needed to service deep SKU items, or items that we have lots of, or larger items that have high value but don't lend themselves well to either the BidRL or the Falling Prices concept. And that's where That's Cheap came from. That's Cheap are discount brick and mortar retail stores designed to capture the highest possible margin on deep SKU inventory or large sized inventory such as furniture. They're large, very comfortable stores. They're beautifully merchandised. It has a much slower inventory turn rate, but higher margins allow us to recapture more value from deep SKU and large inventory. We currently have 5 That's Cheap stores and are projected to grow that to 25 stores nationally within the next 5 years. That's Cheap gives us a third option in our retail sales toolkit. We can put items in That's Cheap and mark them at a specific price so that we can recapture as much margin as possible. If items sit in That's Cheap too long, we can always run sales to reduce the price to get them out. Or if they stay too long, even after running sales, we can simply pull them out and run them through one of our other liquidation channels, either BidRL or Falling Prices, to make sure the inventory is always fresh and the inventory is always turning. Now, the nice thing about these 3 sales channels is that they work together. There's a very symbiotic relationship, and allows us to liquidate at volume any reverse logistics retail inventory and capture the highest possible margins from it. It's a process that we call RightChanneling. Inventory is received, sorted, and then sent to the sales channel that will produce the highest rate of return for that specific inventory. It's a powerful combination that no other liquidation company can offer, and it produces very high recovery rates at volume for almost all retail reverse logistics inventory. Let's talk about what we mean when we say protecting our clients. None of our retail channels ship, and that's intentional. We never want to create a situation where we're competing with your existing online sales platforms. We understand that other liquidation companies will often sell things through Amazon or eBay, but then they're competing directly with your forward sales channels. If somebody goes out and searches for, say, a Hoover vacuum, and they find that Hoover vacuum being sold by a liquidation company on Amazon for a significantly lower price than the authorized Hoover retailers, well, your liquidation company is now competing directly with your authorized forward sales channels. We never want to create a situation where we're doing that, so we do not ship. People have to come in and pick things up in person from the location they were purchased from. Additionally, none of our retail channels or our advertising efforts use what we call product specificity. So let's say that it's that Hoover vacuum again, and it's a Hoover wind tunnel model 2500 XL vacuum. We're never going to use all of that specific information to describe that vacuum. We're just going to put it on our site as a vacuum, or perhaps a Hoover vacuum, and that's it. So anybody searching for that specific model will not find it on our site. They're going to find it on your site, which is the idea. We want the customers to purchase from your forward sales channels and not from our liquidation sales channels. It's a different customer, and we don't want to steal your customer for our channel. It also means that any scraping or crawling tools don't find the product on our websites, meaning that they'll never be able to come back and say, hey, we're impacting your map pricing, because we won't be able to find, or those tools won't be able to find those items advertised at lower prices than you have authorized your authorized dealers to sell them for. Also, we sell items individually, direct to the consumer, and this discourages large purchases by other resellers, which reduces the amount of inventory reaching the gray market. Finally, UPC defamation discourages items from being returned through your forward sales channels. They're defamed with a marker or perhaps with some stickers, something so that it cannot be removed and then return through your sales channel by scanning that barcode. It's going to be clear that that item was purchased through a liquidation channel so that it doesn't wind up coming back through your forward sales channels as a return. The capacity of RL Liquidators is largely unlimited. It's nearly endless. I know that's a very bold statement to make, but it's true. Our aggressive growth plans for our 3 retail brands will just naturally and organically produce an ever-increasing capacity to process and liquidate freight. The common ownership of all of the companies with a relatively flat leadership structure allows us to be incredibly nimble. If our clients have a need, we can respond to that need very quickly. We can open distribution centers in areas that are strategic to our clients within 60 to 90 days generally. The retail channels then quickly follow, which provides the revenue to continue to support and sustain that expansion. Finally, a lot of our projected growth, especially in our BidRL concept, is going to come from the addition of licensed dealers. Since it's a licensed dealer that will be opening locations, we can still control how things happen. So we make sure that we're able to meet all of the commitments we've made to our clients. But it's not our capital that's fueling the expansion. It reduces the capital expenditures that's required for us to sustain our aggressive and prolonged growth. Other services that we offer, we do have something called RL Return Center, which is a third-party return center that accepts returns on behalf of other retailers. The retailers that we accept these returns for sell largely online, and they don't want the returns to come back to them, so they come to us. We process them. We have software that tracks them with photographs for our clients, and then we pay our clients for all the returns that we receive. We also have a division called the Wholesale Group. I wanted to make sure I put this in just for complete transparency. We often say that the only consistency in the reverse logistics industry is the lack of consistency within the industry. Inventory supplies are never consistent. We have contracts with a great number of retailers and manufacturers. Each of those contracts has projected volumes. Those projected volumes rarely materialize. Oftentimes we'll have less, oftentimes we have more, and oftentimes we have much more. We have had contracts with retailers that have been 4 times the projected volume, and that level of inventory has existed for the entire length of the contract. Obviously, that's something that we need to be able to adjust to, and we need a relief valve. So if our supply exceeds our current capacity, and that supply extends long enough that it threatens to overwhelm our distribution centers, we have to have a way of moving that inventory out so that we can keep the entire process running. The Wholesale Group is that relief valve. So we do occasionally sell things in wholesale volumes, but again, it's only until we can increase our capacity to match our supply. So in recap, we understand as a company, we've always understood that moving high volumes of retail reverse logistics inventory at very high recovery rates is only part of the equation. Our clients also need to be protected, right? Their brand, their marketplace has to be protected by their liquidation partner. Otherwise, it can never be a long-lasting and effective relationship. So selling items individually through sales channels that we both own and control allows us to achieve both of those goals, providing unrivaled value to our clients that they can't find anywhere else. If you'd like more information, here's my contact information and my co-founder Ryan Babineau's contact information. Feel free to reach out to either of us. We would be happy to continue the conversation and answer any questions that you may have. As we come to the end of this video, hopefully now you have at least a general understanding of the powerful tools that our approach to liquidation provides our clients. If you're an existing client, thank you. We look forward to doing more business with you. If you're a potential client, I hope that you'll reach out soon. We'd like to talk with you about how we can put these powerful tools to work for you. Thanks for watching.